Sagittarius, we're going to do your end of May read. Let's see what we have going on. We have Page of Wands, Three of Swords, and then the Five of Cups. I'm not going to say this is like, oh my gosh, you're so depressed, this is so terrible. What I'm going to say is, you might find something out that you need to sit with for a hot second. There's some element of, and the doors are slamming, truth and clarity, and you just kind of regret how things threw down in some element. Or conversely, this is someone coming at you being like, I'm getting uncomfortable conversation. Where if, and then I'm like, and then Ten of Swords is underneath. So there's something that needs to kind of be resolved, and it might be a little uncomfortable. You know, I don't think you're coming out swinging. It's more of like a, you know, you were making me feel this way, so I had to pull back. Or something was not feeling right, so I needed to go take care of myself. And you know, I'm not going to say you're ambushed, but this Page of Wands is kind of immature and like, da, 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 da. But like Three of Swords and Five of Cups are taking it way more serious than back here. So there might have been somebody who's a little oblivious, you know, put it that way. So what is the Chariot? How are you moving forward? How are we pushing this forward? How are we moving the needle with this Nine of Swords? You might be at a point where you're not sure how that's going to work out. This is the one that came out. Four of Coins. Something has to give. Something has to change. But what is it? What is that? What is the thing that, you know, will pop Sag out of this being in their head business? The World. Letting something kind of close out. Letting something evolve. Because if you've been holding on to something and not making room for other stuff, it kind of puts you in this limbo. So what is this Page of Wands back here? Let's talk about that. Two of Swords. There's decisions to be made, but with the Two of Swords, there is an element of like being indecisive, but also maybe not seeing it because, you know, in the traditional deck, her eyes are all bound up. And then Five of Coins. Now I'm going to point out they are kind of, you know, all numbers that are below 5, but 5s are changes. And you have like 2s and 4s and things like that. I feel like you're kind of smack in the middle of this, you know, of this cycle. And you're like, oh my gosh, can we close out? Like, can we just move this along? But Four of Coins, what's the holdup here? Justice. Like I said, if something doesn't feel right, you know, decisions have to be made. Things have to kind of like, you know, apologies need to be made. There has to be some kind of balance restored to whatever situation this is. Because Five of Coins, talk to me about that. Three of Coins. Yeah, like I said, it's all like lower numbers. So you're not really at the tipping point yet, even if your head is in the Nine of Swords where you're ready to be done with it. The Three of Coins, you need someone to show up to this. To show up to this conversation, to show up. And like I said, I feel like somebody's a little oblivious. And like you don't want to be the one to tell you, you know. Tell them about it. Now give me one on the Justice. I'm just going to point out that Knight of Cups wanted to come out. I feel like this person's intentions are good. Like I said, they're just kind of, I hate to say it, but dumb. Yeah, so the High Priestess. You're going to have to gut check yourself on this. I know that sucks. But like you have to be the one in the driver's seat. But you don't want to be disappointed. You don't want to choose the wrong thing. You don't want to. So, the World. The Hierophant. Things done right. Commitments made in the best way possible. I mean, I think it is possible to get there, but there has to be some kind of shift. All right. Normally I wouldn't do this, but we have time. We're going to do the advice. What is the advice? Nine of Wands. Kind of stand your ground. The Empress. What do you want to create out of this? And Three of Wands. An amount of patience is needed because, like I said, you know this is possible. And Judgment. That's, for me, Judgment is like the universe version of Justice. Like, Justice is when the decision is still down with us. Judgment is when it gets to the, you know, the higher bosses, and they're like, guess what? We're deciding this. So I would get your ducks in a row as much as you can with this and communicate as clearly as possible about this when, this is how I feel, this is what, I need to happen, etc. There is a lot of like pushing through this energy, but stand on your ground that you know that this growth is possible and you're waiting for it, and then the universe sees you and goes, I see you, Sag. I got you, Sag. So, I would not get too up in your head. Don't Nine of Swords this, because what you want in the book, there's knowledge. There's stuff that you need to make known. Things that you want. You need to put it out there. And that can be difficult. Yeah, because here's the cats. Something with you, though, the cats means falseness, but with you could be acting like everything's cool. Everything's cool. It's fine. It's good. It's that Four of Cups, kind of like a little denial-y a little bit. Or this is somebody else. Social situations with the garden thing, like you're playing it cool. You're putting on a good face for the outside world. When inside you're like, Nine of Swords. And the anchor. Needing to get grounded, but also things that are dragging you. What about the anchor does Sag need to deal with here? Deal with your house. Deal with your stability. Deal with from the ground up. It's like the tower only falls because it's not built the right way. And the fox is smart, but there's also a cunning aspect. So I'm not going to say don't try and cheat your way out of it, but don't try and outsmart it. Because like I said, justice, it's still in your hands. Don't let it go full judgment where like the higher ups are like, no. It's in our hands now. Ball's in our court. So don't let it get to that level. So what can Sag do about the fox? All right, 2 on the fox. The safe and the rose. Figure out what's important and kind of put it out there. The rose is an offer, or let somebody offer things to you. Accept help. Because like I said, the 3 of Coins is that collaborative thing. Accept help. Listen to other opinions. Now, what are we doing about Sag back here? Yes, work with people. So, it's not all or nothing. Just let it be all or something for a little bit, Sag, all right? Because you are able to push through it. I just feel like you need to actually communicate yourself and what you want to make these things happen. All right, Sag, that's what we have, and I'll talk to you later.